Good morning, everybody. This is something that was part of my regularly scheduled commentary or postings, and I've been meaning to do this for like a week or so. Just now getting around to it. Um, Something other than all this stuff going on YouTube in the beef sector and that sort of thing, um, because everyone keeps mentioning my age, and again, I am 75 years old, and I think I'm doing okay. Um, the picture you see on the avatar, I was 68 at the time, and I guess I need to update it at some point. But I wanted to share some healthy living tips for you all because there's some things that I started practicing at a much younger age, and I think that's contributed to my remaining healthy so far. Um, we can look back and see where we were headed and see where we are. But for you younger people as well, especially you, now is a good time to start. I was 47, yeah, 47 years old um, when I made a lot of these changes. And um, on my community wall, there is a book in one of the photographs by, he lived in Tucson, but he was a best-selling author. But I decided to read the book. I saw him on, I think it was, trying to think which one it was. It was the public channel, Channel 6. I think it was a master, something like a master class, but it was a documentary and it featured him. And I listened to what he said. But the other thing I did, and some of the advice I took was one, um, I, you know, stopped cooking with um, the regular cooking oils. I only cook, ever since that time, I only cook with olive oil. And if you're going to fry something, whatever you're going to do with it, olive oil will work. And I even, when I do a baked potato in the oven, the oil I use to put on the baked potato is olive oil. So that's one of the changes I made as a result of his book. And his book is pictured because I can't tell you everything he did and said. The other thing is that I did stop eating pork except for bacon. Um, I think I was in my 30s, maybe my 30s, maybe 25, 26, but I only eat bacon, and that's every now and then. And sometimes I just use it for seasoning things like, collard greens or cabbage or something of that nature. But I grew up eating pig feet, chitlins, hog maws, all of that. And I stopped. And I think that's contributed to me being more healthy than I would have normally have been. The other thing is aluminum. A lot of, there was a lot of information regarding this back in the 90s because of Alzheimer's. And the research studies showed that aluminum stays in your body, it never leaves. And they said, this is the experts, not me, that the retention of aluminum in your body uh, contributes to early onset Alzheimer's. Well, that's when I stopped using aluminum cooking utensils. I, stopped using, I only use stainless steel flatware. And then there's the other way aluminum gets into your body is through deodorant. And there's some deodorants that don't have any aluminum in it. And I've been using Tom's of Maine, and they have it in scented, unscented, however you wish, whatever your preference is, but it's organic, and you just can't find it everywhere, but you can find it in places like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, places like that, and on Amazon. But I put a picture on it because that retention of aluminum is very, very crucial to maintaining your mental health. Because when you get something in your body and it never leaves, and it's going to store up, my choice was not to store it up. And I have not had, you know, any dissatisfaction with Tom's of Maine. I'm glad I'm not using the aluminum cookware. I'm very careful about anything dealing with aluminum. So I think the other thing is that aluminum cans. And so I try to get bottled sodas and that sort of thing. These are things that it may seem like a small thing, may seem little, but it's really huge. I use bottles, preferably glass bottles, because I don't want the plastic in my system and I don't want anything from the cans. So these are just a few things that may, contribute to a longer life and a healthier body. And I wish that I had stopped doing a lot of these things at a much earlier age, but the research didn't come out until a certain time. The products didn't come out until a certain time. And so now people don't pay as much attention to it. But there are people who get Alzheimer's at the age of 30, and it's called early onset. Anywhere between 30 years old and 50 years old is considered early onset Alzheimer's. And I think the other thing is that I watched a documentary recently where they had done like a 10 or 15-year study all around the world of how people um, ate. They call it the blue zones because the people in those areas lived to be over 100 and they were healthy. And they did a documentary on that, and they call it the blue zones, and it's on Netflix, and it's called what is it called? I think it's called um, the blue zones. Just put blue zones in there and it'll come up. And they, each place around the world, the similarity was their diet. They ate a lot of fresh fish, salmon, salads, and they grew a lot of their foods. And this is all over the world. That was a similarity. But when you see somebody that's 100 years old or over on a horse herding animals, you see people, in their 90s walking upstairs with no aids required. All of this was factored in the health condition of these people and how they ate, their diet. And there were even Facebook groups that um, give new recipes for this. It's called Blue Zone Diets and so on. But if you look it up, you'll see what it is. That is the most recent information. So all of this other information that comes from years before and information that's consistently coming out, when you want to bring up somebody's age, well, okay, I'll turn that into a positive. Let me share with you how I think, I got here. Um, my mother lived to be 97, and she was still cooking until 96. But she didn't like the microwave food. She didn't like fast food. I think there was one thing she liked in fast food, but um, basically, she liked her stuff cooked from scratch. She liked the um, slow cooking of meat and so on. And that was the norm for, I think, everyone in my family in her generation. So that was the kind of thing I grew up on. And it may have given me a healthier start, but I screwed it up with the supermarket and the fast food and all of that kind of stuff. Um, I think basically, if we watch what we eat, we get plenty of exercise, we do what we can to prevent storing of chemicals in our bodies, I think that will produce a longer life and a healthier life. But another thing, quit smoking. I'm still trying, and it's not something that's been easy for me, but I'm still trying. Um, I smoked since I was 14, and it's kind of like in my body. And they say if you start smoking as a juvenile, it is harder to quit as an adult. That's why there was that campaign to stop marketing to young people. And they didn't have that when I was coming up. When I was coming up, smoking was supposed to be glamorous, okay? But your lungs ain't glamorous when you smoke. So that would be a priority as well. And avoid hard alcohol, except maybe occasionally on social events or something like that. But the main thing is like quit smoking. If try, even if you cut down, they say that as soon as you start quitting, your lungs start to heal themselves. So, and drinking, I don't drink. I stopped drinking in socially drinking in, I think, 1989. And then go out and I'd have a drink. I stopped doing the go out and have a drink in 1991. And I have not had anything, drank any liquor since that time. Um, Now, the church may have had something to do with that because, boy, did they lay some hands on me. I'm telling you, um, to, get rid of all the bad habits. And that was something that I thought, oh, well, I'm out, I'll have a drink. But when you get to a certain age, it does start to take its toll, I believe. And, I was in, let's see, I was in my 30s. Yeah, I was in my 30s or mid 40s, something like that. But the more you do to protect your body, the more you're going to um, give yourself a fighting chance in this world to keep living and to live healthy and strong and sturdy. And I would suggest that everyone take a look at those products on my community wall, pick up his book. It's sold on Amazon. And, you know, so those are the things. See the Netflix show, The Blue Zones. Uh, Avoid the aluminum storing in your body and cooking with olive oil and reduction in pork. Because I can't say that I've stopped eating pork. You, when there's bacon available or something, I'm going to have me some bacon. So I'm not perfect in that area, but I've let go of a lot of the other. But one main thing I've added to my diet on a regular basis, sometimes 2 and 3 times a week, is salmon. And that is really, really a superfood. Salmon and broccoli are superfoods. So, um, and Andrew Weil's book, and quit smoking. Those are the 6 or 7 points that I wanted to bring to your attention. And if you have aluminum cookware or flatware, get you some stainless steel. That's always best. It's a natural thing, and the way it's produced is sterile. Okay, I hope someone gets something out of this and that it helps whoever hears it achieve a healthier life and a healthier body. Have a good day. Bye bye.